I'm still figuring this out. Take one. This is so hard. Let me reset. So I don't know how to start this except to say, guys, it's official. I'm quitting my 9 to 5 and I have no job lined up. It's official. Okay. So this has been a long time in the works to a degree, but I wanted to share a little bit of this journey because I've been convicted lately that our stories are meant to be shared. Like how God is working in the craziness of life. It's like usually the people who are living with me get to see how all the crazy goes down. And by the crazy, I mean the crazy ways in which God does his thing in life. But I've felt convicted that with things in flux, it's harder to share things when you don't know what the end result is going to be. Like if I'm going to, after all of this, just end up on the streets or something, right? Or am I going to be one of those people like crying on videos in YouTube? I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to share more and document this journey. And a little bit backstory, as it's now official, the job posting for my job replacement is up. I realized that actually, if I think about it, Peace Corps ended, I came back in 2015 from Ethiopia from 3 years there. And that being such a life transforming time, this era, like these past 10 years of my life, if I really zoom out, it's kind of like my post transformation era. Like what happened after God gave me this crazy testimony, gave me this crazy conviction that everything in life is meaningless without him, that I'm living all in for him. That's where I started my hashtag all in keyword, I guess, of life. After that, then what? That's what these 10 years, I think, will look like when I zoom out and look back like years from now, perhaps. I don't know. In that, I feel like I'm entering this new chapter with quitting my job and I am just so excited. Like I can't even express. And for me to like be this smiley just talking about it, it's been a journey. To give more context, a lot has happened in the past 10 years since coming back from Peace Corps. And I've been reflecting on it a lot, like so many life milestones, returned from Peace Corps. I readjusted to the first world. I started business school, which was so unexpected in the midst of being convicted to live all in for God and graduating business school and then starting seminary and then COVID hitting and getting my first real quote unquote full-time job, like a real 9 to 5 after years of all this other stuff that I had been doing, still in school and trying to pay off my undergrad loans, finally paying off my undergrad loans, started dating for the first time, faced chronic health issues, and then fast forward to now, May 2025, now, which is already like several months ago, graduating seminary. And here I am. And I always knew that God would probably want to call me out to something different than what I was doing these past several years in my work, but just didn't know what that looked like or the timing or if he would subject me to stay longer in the job that I was in. And it was such a sanctifying time. I have a lot to process, but now we're here and we're in a new era. And this has come after some months after graduating, which I didn't expect to have. Like, I didn't think that I would have so much time and mental space. It's not even time. Like, I didn't even have that much extra time, but I think it was more the mental space and health improvements that really allowed me to spend so much time with the Lord in these past few months. Like some days where I would spend 5 hours with, I was so thirsty for him. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that. But I was so thirsty for the word and for spending time communing with the Lord after seminary because that season was just really dry towards the end. I think something about working full-time, studying sometimes half-time, part-time, for a while doing ministry. And even when I quit ministry, being very involved in church and just everything else in life, it just left me really dry. And so I was just in the word, in prayer, spending hours on end with him before work, after work. And through that time, like he's really been convicting me of what does it mean to steward our lives for him. Like I've already said, I want to live hashtag all in for him, but what does this actually mean played out in day-to-day mundane life? And that key word of stewardship has been on my mind actually for the past couple years, really wrestling with the fact that all of life, all of these things in life we're given, our talents, our resources, our money, our time, our energy, our body, everything, like our origin story, like all of these things were given to us to steward for Him. And as I've been mulling over the parable of the talents and the parable of the 10 minas, and even the parable of the, dishonest or the shrewd manager, it's been so piercing to me, like so piercing and so shocking how explicitly we were meant to multiply these things or to do something with the things He's given us. And that it's no excuse to even just return the same thing back to Him when Christ comes back. So with that, it's just been this whole uprooting of how did I suddenly get here where after post-grad till I would say seminary starting, I was living this life that was very able to take leaps of faith and go all in into whatever He would have for me next. And then suddenly I got stuck in this period of 7 years of working and 5 years of working full time and having this job and being able to finally pay off loans and my bills. But in the midst of all that, in the midst of the provision that He gave me through that job, which was very clearly a provision because that job came to me when I was praying specifically to God about how do I steward my finances, given I know He's given me this opportunity for business school and for seminary, but I still had loans to pay and I didn't have a job prior. I didn't have savings. I didn't have anything. So how does this all work financially? Like how does the calculation work? And with that, God provided this job, which also gave me health benefits and things that I hadn't had for a while. So with all that, I realized that, man, as time has passed, I've suddenly become and grown into the thing that I did not want to, meaning this Christian life in which you're just living, working to pay the bills so that you can make money, so that you can live to work to pay the bills and make money and just keep going, like cycle. I forget, there's a quote that like, was it Francis Chan or something says about that. So I realized I got caught up in that cycle, that vicious cycle, and something needs to change. There's certain things that I've been convicted of to follow and to like leap into faith in, but I just had suddenly a fear because I got so comfortable with this like stabler lifestyle. Before, I was moving around like every couple years to the next thing that He wants to bring me to. And then I got restless when He finally put me in a place after me wanting to be like, okay, can we stop moving around every couple years and jumping to this next thing? He puts me in a place for 7 years, I get comfortable. And now when He's convicting me to leap out, I'm scared. It's freaky. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Am I delusional? Is this my Delulu era? But in reality, I've been doing that like all my life. And He's always provided, He's always created this adventure that was like way beyond my imagination of what I could plan for myself. It's always been amazing. Why am I so afraid now? The convictions got so strong that I was convicted that if I did not make moves or do something official, make that official step out in faith, that I would be actively disobeying God. And so here we are now. I am trying my best to off-ramp my job and to help with the transitions as best as I can, Lord willing, if my health will let me. And in the midst of that, leaping into the unknown of things I feel convicted and called toward, but there's no clear path. There's no clear plan. It's like I see the light at the end of the tunnel and I keep telling people it's exciting and I've never felt so invigorated, but it might just be a cliff at the end of the tunnel. I don't know. I have no idea. So, this is meant to document my journey. And for anyone else who feels scared to follow the call or take that leap in a way, maybe like struggling through it together, this life together, and figuring out what it means to follow Him in every aspect of our lives. So that's what I hope to do here. And I'm going to be uploading a lot more videos. So if you want to stay tuned for that journey. All in all, I have no idea what all of this entails, but what I do know is that I am so excited and I hope He works through my story. So until next time, bye.